Hello and welcome to Naivety Gaming. I'm your host Matt, and this is the 21st week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. For those who don't know, Cheap Weekly Thrills is where I browse Steam and find games that have been released in the past week for $5 or less. And as many of you can probably already tell, I've been sick this past week and my voice got really low, and I actually kind of like it a lot, and will be pretty disappointed when it actually goes back to normal. But besides that, the game this week is called Looney Rally. Get behind the wheel of a racing rally car or truck and go head to head against other rival AI racers in gorgeous locations. Looney Rally is created by BeshevGames, I believe is the pronunciation of that. And currently it is 40% off. So traditionally it's sold at $3 and is currently only $1.80. As some of you could probably already tell, I actually did a recording of this week's Cheap Weekly Thrills already, and then realized that only the audio was recording, and I didn't actually hit the record button on, the video portion, which, pretty annoyed about, but, regardless, I think you guys will like this game of the week. So just give me one moment and we'll be right on into it. Hello and welcome to Looney Rally, the game where it looks very similar to Borderlands if you look at it in that kind of weird light. And for this week, as I've been saying, we will be doing Looney Rally, and the volume is really loud for me right now, so I'll just turn that down a little bit. So let's start with this. So, starting out with this game, like I was saying, it looks like Borderlands, so I'm pretty happy with that. The interesting thing with this game is most of the functions of the game are based on collecting points. So what you'll be doing is going around the track, you'll find a couple of pickups every once in a while, and you'll want to be able to pick those up. And weirdly enough, the pickups are pretty small, so you gotta be pretty accurate on picking those guys up. There are also, within this game, has a couple of damage features. So if you run into something, your car will not only look like it had some major damage, it will actually act like that damage in that area has affected the performance of your vehicle, which I find actually quite interesting. My only critique on that is there should be maybe a couple more repair pickups kind of lying around the track, because as you can tell right now, I'm actually doing a pretty good job of driving, but the amount of times where you're not as quick as your opponent and you're just kind of darting around and messing them up, your car will get damaged pretty quickly. So you'll see here it's actually pretty realistic where your car will get damaged from doing these big old leaps and whatever. And my front wheel, if you can tell, my front left wheel is not doing great. Now my front right and my bumper in general is not doing pretty ideal. So I'm trying to get it around, trying to see if I can catch up to this guy up front. Same car as me, but I believe there are a couple of AI techniques in there to actually slow him down, so we're not. So it gives the player a little bit more confidence, a little bit more, they can actually catch up per se. Not sure if I'm going to be able to pass him in time to complete this level, which would be a little bit sad. Or I might be able to. Ooh. Ooh. It's close. My car is still... my car wasn't so... Oh, its handling's terrible. Yeah, because my car got hit a couple of times. It's, the handling on it was, pretty bad. So, got second place, whatever. Got a couple of points there, so I'm pretty happy with that. So, we'll go on to this winter stage. The one interesting thing that I wanted to point out per se, was that in order to get the next car, to get the next map, you need to collect all these points and be able to put them in and be able to unlock these different maps. I'm actually going to restart this race. That was pretty crap. So another critique that I had was early on, you find yourself doing a lot of grinds between the same map with the same car before you could unlock the next map and the next car, and it got pretty monotonous pretty quickly, especially with the original car that you got, which was a Chevrolet Blazer, which definitely felt like the real life car, where it was really slow, really just kind of this heavy truck, and you just wanted to kill yourself the entire time. It's just like, why can't I be like this other dune buggy who was getting first the entire time? So, apart from that, when you finally did get to the next map and did get enough points to unlock the next car, then, as you can tell right here, it's actually pretty exciting. You got to keep about your wits on this kind of track, which I absolutely love this kind of level design, where it gives you the scale that this mountain is just so tall and steep. And the thing that I love about this game is whenever you're going up hills, it's not like Need for Speed per se, where you just kind of zoop, you're right up the hill, no problem, because you've got a 3,000 horsepower car. This kind of car is going to take its time. It needs a lot of that torque to be able to move itself up that hill, and it's going to need every little bit that it takes. And the fact that this map is so hilly and it's just so diverse, and I love it so much. It gives you a genuine scale of this kind of scene versus just being like a, you know, whatever, it's a mountain. I just climbed it yesterday, and today, whatever. The thing that I'm noticing is graphics are fine. It's not a AAA game, so you can't expect the designer to spend their livelihood on trying to make the graphics the best. It's not going to be the most outstanding kind of graphics you've ever seen. It's not the smoothest game, but that could also be my terrifyingly bad computer. So the interesting thing too is that these... Oh, thanks a lot, you jerk. The checkpoints are literally just that. Well, I take that back. It seems like that the checkpoints, whenever you'd respawn, you'd respawn at the last checkpoint, so you spend a little bit of time trying to make up ground. I was right in front of the next one. Are you serious? I crashed right there. That's pathetic. So, and because of this race, oh, I missed that corner completely. Because of the damage that I had inflicted upon myself and that stupid Suburban had inflicted on me earlier, I'm just sitting here going like, ah. I don't have a repair pickup in sight, so I'm just kind of taking it in stride per se. The other thing too is that it's so weird that whenever you respawn, that it doesn't respond to you in the middle of the track and you get rotated around in a weird way. But anywho, I really wish that there would be a couple more repair markers along the track, or that they would be a little bit more apparent, because these cars are taking some big damage, and it gets really annoying really quickly when you can't repair it and you're having to deal with this pretty horrifyingly bad damage. If only if it were like that it'd become this severe later in the damage, where it's most of your car is destroyed, and then you have to deal with it most of these race-ending kind of sequences or mechanics. Because right now it's pretty bad, and I have maybe a quarter of my health taken out, so it's not ideal in the least. So in this, things get a little bit interesting. Trying to line myself up the best. Try to get that point marker with 500 points. That did not work out well. But you have literally absolutely no traction on that ice lake. So if you screw it up and you miss that checkpoint, well, guess who's got to go all the way back to see if they can make that checkpoint again. So, again, a little bit annoying, but we'll make it through. I thought that was a repair marker. Is there not a repair anywhere? Whatever. Last place. I got some points, I think. But regardless, what's the next car? Okay, 7,500. Next track is 10 grand? Is it? Yeah, it's 10 grand. Anywho, so that was Looney Rally. I actually quite like the game. It's pretty quirky, and it's got a lot of fun gameplay when you get into those higher level cars and those newer, more expensive maps, per se. And I would actually definitely recommend it. Like I was saying before, the first couple of levels are a little bit tedious and monotonous, trying to grind to get enough points to get you started into getting into the next maps. But until then, you just kind of got to put in your due work. But when you get to that stage where you can afford the higher end cars and whatnot, it's a lot of fun. I'll tell you that. This level design was great. Car handling is not ideal, but I mean it's a little arcadey rally game, so you can't expect that. That is going to be absolutely perfect. So, like I was saying, this was Looney Rally. This was the 21st week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you like and subscribe. We could always use a couple more subscribers around these areas. And if you've picked up a game in the past week or so that was $5 or less, or if you picked up this game even, and had a couple opinions on whichever game you picked up and would like to share, the comment section below is where you can do that. So, like I was saying, this was the 21st week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. My name is Matt, and we'll see you guys next week. So, bye-bye.